Good morning from the small town or village of Kandava. Today we're going to be exploring a little bit of Courland. This is one of my favorite provinces in Latvia. It always has been. In fact, this is the second favorite place after the capital of Riga. Here is the list that the local people have sort of prepared. Some points of interest to visit. So we're going to visit number 2. The night castle of Livonian Order Castle, more like they are ruins already. We are here already at number 9, and also 21, the Teteriņš Lake. Veisparts is also right behind us. It's quite a nice thing to see. And 24 is basically located at the same place where the castle ruins of the Livonian Order is located. Let's go up and let me tell you more about this place and why this place is so special. This hill is about 8 to 10 meters high. The historical importance cannot be underestimated. At year 1230, all this place was ruled by the Curonian tribespeople, known as Curonians, or in Latvian language, Kurši. Riga was established in year 1200, and at year 1230, the Crusaders came here and they made some kind of agreement with the Curonians, which basically was based upon peace. The Curonians broke this peace agreement and they rebelled, or perhaps even attacked the Crusader army. Thus, the Livonian Order came here together with other Crusader states, such as the Sword Brothers and the army of Riga, and they basically besieged this castle, and I can imagine also burn it down. And there is one thing that you have to understand: at that time, the Baltic people, they didn't have the knowledge of constructing stone castles or stone buildings. So these kind of hill forts you would see throughout the country, hundreds, but perhaps even thousands, because they were from wood. They were very easy to burn down. If we set aside all those cool historical and cultural things, I would also like to say I spent a lot of my childhood here, and like I mentioned in my earlier videos, midsummer, or we call it actually Jāņi, is the best and the biggest celebration in Latvia. So during these 2-3 days you would see all along on these hills big fireplaces. People would gather together from all those houses that you see in the distance and from the village itself. It's inhabited by around 3,500 people, but they would all gather here around these fireplaces, jump across it, do singing and dancing. There would be food everywhere. People from one house would go to another house, to another fireplace, and they would treat them with the most traditional food, which would be shashliks and cheese with cheese with cumins, and of course a shitload of beer. You cannot celebrate this without beer. The street that you see behind me is very famous for its old cobbled streets, which haven't changed much in the last few hundred years. And this place is called Veisparts, or it's like literally translated as the wing of the wind. And you have a very good reason for that, and it's because right there on this street somewhere there used to be a windmill. So believe me or not guys, but we are actually in the center of Kandava. So this would be the center, and that's pretty much it of the city up here. Of course there's a little bit more of the city downhill, but that's even less, so to say, populated than this. And of course I know that from some of the houses you can see that they have fallen in disrepair, and that's very true because people in the countryside tend not to live up to the standards of bigger cities, and for a good reason, because these places in the countryside tend not to be as developed, as you can see. Thus people earn much less here, and also it's very much older generation people living here. So it is what it is, but it is beautiful. So as you saw, or as you heard me saying before, there is actually some filming going on over here. Actually, if you would Google this place, you would see that some photographers from around the world are coming here to make pictures for their galleries as well. There were some international companies, like for food or for well-being products, from time to time, be it a commercial, but now actually they are shooting some TV series in this place because it is very attractive and pleasing to your eye, I guess. So we are here in the ruins of the castle of the Livonian order. There are not much of remains to be seen here. When we will go down, you will see this sort of 3D model which they basically built to give us better insights of how this place used to look like. Around 16th and 17th century, Courland experienced golden age, and one thing that shows for it is the gunpowder factory behind me. Because of the rich sulfur streams that you can find in Kandava, they were able to mine this sulfur, and thus from the other provinces they brought in saltpeter, and this is the place where they actually manufactured gunpowder. And it still stands tall nowadays, even though it has been fallen in disrepair. After the Great Northern War, the Swedes finally managed to capture this fort and destroyed it completely. After the Swedes captured this place and burned it down, of course it's lost its strategic importance. And it was also time of gunpowder, and these types of fortifications became useless. So this is basically how the place looked like at its peak of existence before the Swedes destroyed it and burned it down. I think it must have been looking quite impressive right here on this hilltop. They were more like theocratic order instead of a monarchy. Thus the Vogt, who was responsible for judging the local peasantry and solving all kind of things, he resided over here in his residence, and this place was only basically then guarded by knights. If you would like to see this place up close, I would recommend not to wait too long, because it is also falling in disrepair, and this time we can't blame the Swedish people for doing that. It must be the local vandals or the local governments not taking proper care of this thing. It didn't take very long time after the Swedes had conquered this place for Kandava and generally Livonia to transfer hands again, and this territory became a part of Russian Empire in about 17th century, which remained there for almost 300 years. And when Russians were ruling here, they allowed the peasants to use all the stones which were probably scattered around the whole place to use it for constructing their houses and farms. Just a few minutes away from the ruins of the Livonian Order Castle, we have arrived at the sports stadium of Kandava, which is located right here next to Lake Teteriņš. And the cool thing about this lake is that the water is being directly pumped in this public swimming pool, which is actually quite a cool thing. I used to also swim here when I was a kid, and up there you can see the kids jumping from the trampoline. I think the lowest one is about 2 meters and the highest one, if I'm correct, was about 9 meters. So you have to be quite a daredevil to be jumping from the highest one, and I never did it. I was mostly swimming in the kids pool, which was not over my head even at that time. Hey, you did at least half a log. This is actually something new that they did here. They created like this trail, which is I guess awesome if you're a kid and living in a countryside, or you're actually coming here for rest, because right there you have also some camping. So this is a perfect family spot to come here and relax and chillax. But this place is really famous for the stadium over here. It was constructed shortly after the Second World War, when we were occupied by Soviets. So I think in 1956 they built it, and after 5 years later, something like that, they already held the first championship here. Just hold your feet up high. Woo! Awesome! And this is what I mean, like in Latvia it's generally like allowed to make fireplaces in like these public parks, but even here you would see that it's like 99% clean, because people do care about cleanliness here. So don't let anybody catch you trashing this place. The nostalgia hits me a little bit to come here again, and I can see there the sign says this place is 1 meter and 10 centimeters deep, so not very deep. The other one I think was about 2 meters, and that one was the most deep one. And there by the small bridge you can even fish, and that's what we did as well, and you can actually catch pretty good fish there. Right there you can see the Neptune guarding this swimming pool, and the mermaid that you can swim up to and take a refuge. I can't remember correctly, but I think that also used to be like a fountain, and some water was sprinkling out from there, but that must be built also quite a long time. But besides that, I think this place has been maintained superb. This kid, he's a true daredevil. Woo! Bombs! Nice! Malacis! It has been quite nostalgic, and we are running a little bit behind the schedule, but it was just nice to see this place again, where I spent my summer days from time to time. And now it's time to visit Sabile. Before we leave, I had to stop over here next to this bridge, because this year it is celebrating its 150th birthday. It actually might be, what I've read online, it might be one of the oldest stone masoned bridges in Northern Europe. We are passing by, so like I said, it would be a shame not to come here on this river Abava, which is, like I told you, in this ancient valley, and it's very beautiful. You can swim, not swim, but you can fish here, and you can catch very big fish apparently. So we have come to a very famous place in Sabile, the Sabile's Vīna Kalns, which translates to Sabile's mountain or mount of grapes or wine. And this place has been very popular for centuries. because this place is, even if you would look it up on Google, in the Guinness record book, because this is the northernmost part of Europe where grapes are grown, and they have a lot of sorts, and they all have very typical Latvian names after women name, like Guna, Velde, etc, etc. Zilga I see, so a lot of them. And another cool thing is, this wine is not for sale, not for selling, because what happens is that they grow it, and in July you have sort of a celebration of the city of Sabile, and during the celebration this wine is handed out for free for everybody who comes. So it's loaded on a cart. Some girls are pushing the cart and handing out everybody this wine for tasting. So if you would ever like to try this wine, you have to come here in July on the Sabile svētki. What I said earlier, that at 16th, 17th century was the golden age of this province in Courland, because of this one duke called Herzogs Jacobs, the Duke Jacob. And he saw the potential over here, thus he planted these vines on these southern slopes where they were growing miraculously. Very curious myself how it tastes like, and perhaps we will return here for the Sabile svētki, for the celebration of this small town or village even, to taste it. If you would look at the price of the entrance ticket, it costs mere 70 cents to come up here, and not only you can see the grapes here, but this is actually one of the best viewing spots of Sabile, and also the ancient valley of Abava. And we're gonna go a little bit up there and try to get our drone in the air.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up with clouds are far behind. Trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Someday you wish upon a star, wake up with the clouds are far behind. Where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to, oh why, and I.
We are going to visit Zviedru Cepure, which is something like an what do you call that? Like an attraction park? Probably not the right thing. Like basically you can have some fun, and when we will be there, you will see it. Actually, this is how it's called, the sports slide. Apparently there is no name in English for this, but let's do it. that was really fun ride. It cost like €2.50 for one ride. Besides that, they do offer some more attractions, like you can go with a buggy there in the track, but we do not have time for that, but it looks rather fun. There's also camping in this place, and it costs €50 per night and €30 for every second night, or every night there from there on. And well, it's just incredibly beautiful here, silent. They do offer some food here as well, and cafe. There it says you can also rent a boat and go down Abava. So God bless this country, and let's move on to Kuldīga. So just 10 minutes driving from Sabile, right on the way to Kuldīga, you will find this wonderful place called Abavas Rumba. And no, Rumba doesn't have anything to do with dancing Rumba, but it's actually considered like a flat waterfall. And we have few of these Rumbas in Latvia, and this is the second widest one. The first one being Ventas Rumba. It costs €2 to come on this property with your car, and it's €2 per person. I wouldn't consider that very expensive, given in fact you can do also all kind of activities here. Everything is maintained, green, quiet, superb, clean. And coming here with the tent, like you can see over there, costs €5. You can come here with your caravan. It costs maybe like €10, I think I saw the sign was. You can have a tent with electricity. You can buy firewood, a huge bag that costs like €5. So the prices are just fantastic. You can see more river fish. These ones already are a little bit bigger, and you can see how clean the water is. It is insane. It's insane. But that is the Rumba itself. Let's get closer to it. You could just sit here for hours, drinking beers, eating some good food, and enjoying some family time. No, you will not catch any fishes today? You are not catching fishes today? There's this ghost swimming, huh? Yeah, you are already swimming. You are 1 meter above water. You tiny beast. Ay, 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 ay. Let him swim. If he wants to swim so bad. Ay, 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 ay.
You're cheating.
Whee! I'm doing it. I still can do it. Relaxing. And out we go. Beautiful, beautiful surroundings. Sabine, you had some comment about these coffee machines that you see.
I'm quite surprised that like in Latvia you see a lot of villages coffee machines on the street, like just like that.
Not only villages, I think yesterday in Riga.
Also in Riga, yes.
Just some random street corners.
Yeah, you can find a coffee machine.
You can find a call. Like, I don't know what happened when I was away, but suddenly people really like to drink these coffee is everywhere.
Yes, now you can buy it everywhere.
Yeah, a little bit bizarre if you ask me, because also like 10 years ago you didn't have it and now suddenly it's everywhere. Ventas Rumba is actually located in Kuldīga, so we're very lucky and we're gonna enjoy dinner. And you guys are not gonna believe what kind of cafe is here. I mean, check out this cafe slash restaurant. Sabine, you enjoying the view?
Yes, I'm enjoying the view. Look at the view.
Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm super hungry and afterwards we're gonna do a little bit exploration here. And then we're heading where?
The Lake, right?
Yes, to Usmasazes. Cheers, Sabine.
Where?
Guys, this is our wonderful dinner today here next to Ventas Rumba. I mean, that just looks fantastic. Bon appetit, everybody. So perhaps I did an understatement before, because this is not the widest waterfall in Latvia, but actually in all of Europe. So the width that you see right now would be around between 100 and 110 meters. But there is this time of the year, normally when there were hard winters, when the ice on the river would melt, it would create twice as much the width. So you see the dry part where people are walking, that part would be also submerged in water, and it would extend to 200 astounding meters in width. And also, because this is not something that occurred naturally, back in the time of Herzog Jacobs, the wonderful guy of the Golden Era, he needed material to build a castle in Kuldīga. Thus, they were excavating ground from here and they were digging for dolomite. And the water is rather shallow. It can go between 50 centimeters and 2 meters. I think up from here it's quite visible where is it going deeper or shallower. Quite amazing. I've literally forgotten how beautiful this place can be. And just for the reference, guys, this is actually the castle that Herzog Jacobs, or the Duke Jacobs, had constructed. And this material came right there from the riverbed to construct this castle. I'm not sure about the deeper history of this castle, whether it has been burned down and they used other material, or is it the actual dolomite. But this is the actual castle, and it does seem that it has undergone through some changes, because the top lodges, they are built from wood. As you might expect over here, this building used to be a mill. And of course, what else free energy is there but a falling water that you can use as a water mill? And that's exactly what happened here. I need I remind you that it was during the time of Herzog Jacobs. Like I said, the golden era was short-lived, but when it came, it was felt immediately. While it might seem rather simple and easy thing nowadays, but back in the time you still needed finances and the brains to complete projects like this. Look at this beauty. Open up your imagination and you can see all these windows being lit up in light, and silhouettes and shadows passing through the windows. Perhaps millman was working right there, carrying and pushing around barrels of wine, or actually milling some wheat, or flooding down the logs down the river. And also in his era, or in that era, you could probably see the whole river being filled with small boats sailing up and down the river. Fascinating and beautiful. Well, yeah, I mean, it's generally a nice park, a nice little stroll. Up there you can probably go to see the waterfall from this side, and then we're going to circulate around a little bit, and go to the
old town, if you will find it.
Yeah, then we're going to go to the old town. There are actually a lot of things to see here, which are also not like related to city, but more like nature, because you do have some caves, sand caves over here, etc, etc. But that was never the plan today. And well, we are already like 2 hours behind the schedule. So instead, like yeah, we're gonna walk around this park, go to the old city, and take off to our camping.
Yes, because we need check-in till 9 o'clock, and it's pretty late already.
It's pretty late already. Well, what appears to be restaurant nowadays, I'm just reading here on the plaque, on the stone, that in this place there used to be another castle that belonged to, guess whom? The Livonian order. And the same fate, like everything in this region, this place was completely destroyed in the Great Northern War by Swedes. And I think this is the only remain of the actual castle. It could be a cellar, a wine cellar perhaps, or perhaps gates. So sad to see, but that's just part of the history. Well, this is actually like a monument of cultural history. So it's not just an old unrepaired building, but perhaps it is still preserved from very old days. And that's how people used to live here. Like I said, generally in Latvia, personally, I would consider the real architecture would be like these old wooden buildings. Because earlier I already stated that people in the pagan times already, they didn't know how to build buildings out of stone. But in general, in all of medieval Europe, and I think all of medieval world, and even later centuries, building things out of stone was not that common because it was expensive and it was hard to do. So they actually chose to build from wood. But building from wood proved a lot of negative points, and I think one of the most negative points was that it was not fire safe. If you are curious with what I mean, take an example of London, the city of London that burned down a few times before they finally made the decision to build all the dwelling houses from rock, because the fire spreads really fast in tightly packed urban centers, even such as this one. But look at these beauties. Look at these beauties. And that is of course the town square, the town hall. Some very lovely cafes here. You can see the locals sitting there and enjoying their evening drink. And like this, like that's the only stone building, well, besides the town hall, but that one is the one of the few exceptions here. Hotel two balloži, so 2 pigeons. I don't think that they have seen a lot of actions in the past 300 years. Here we are creeping in a little bit on the inner yards of living houses. And check out this old church. It has seen a lot of things. Some communist shit, some Nazi shit, some communist shit again. A local celebrity, Mr. Meow Meow. Hey. Hello. Yeah, you're a good kitty cat, aren't you? It is already 8 p.m. That means we are 2.5 hours behind the schedule. We should have been in our, I would say, accommodation much earlier, but we're gonna make it at the last moment at 9 p.m. So see you there, guys. Sabine, tell me your feeling when we are so much behind the schedule in this wonderful place.
Yeah, it's a bit shitty feeling that we are so late. But I think we will need to
come back in 2025.
2025, yes.
Guys, this is like unbelievable setting over here. This is called Usmas Ezers. Over there is Moritssalu. It's an island over there, very protected area and very famous in Latvia as well. And we are like on this pontoon kind of boat bridge setting houses over there. That one is ours, so we have to take the boat to get there. All the boats are free, of course. Even the subboard is for free. Everything's free. You could do a lot of things, but since we are 3 hours behind the schedule, I think the only thing we're gonna be doing is Cezar, puika! Sveiki! So the only thing we're gonna be doing is chill out a little bit, drink some beers, and I think few hours of chilling in this setting. But it is unbelievably sad that we are too late to enjoy this fully. But no reason to stay sad or mad. It is what it is. Not always everything goes according to the plan. And I don't think that there was a place where I would like to spend less time today. Again, I can explain a little bit. There is another house hiding there, and all these houses are customized. That one is called the beaver house, the swan house, and the rabbit house.
Only one with a sauna.
Only one with the sauna, so we do have sauna over there. Perhaps, but most likely we will not set it up today, because early morning we have to go to Riga. And there is like this wooden path, trail, kind of going around the lake. Not in full length, of course, because it is 75 kilometers around this lake. Also one of the biggest ones. The owner actually said it was the 4th largest lake.
Yes.
But we think Lake Burtnieks is the 4th largest, so 4th or 5th, one of them. And you already see these guys doing this boating. That's exactly what is happening here to get around. Behind the trees there are there's modern toilet and shower. Otherwise you do have a shower and a toilet on these small houses as well. So here inside you can come and hide away from the rain and look at this beautiful lake. I imagine a small kitchenette, not really a kitchenette, but you do have drinking water and something for boiling your water. But it's just one of the most beautiful things that I've seen so far on this trip. This might be the last entry in the blog. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next adventure. Well, like always, there's always more entries to the vlog. And this would be our, well, let me get shoes off, but this is our luxurious, simple, interesting rabbit house. Because every house, like I said, they have like a theme, and this one has rabbits. I spoke to the guy, he's also Latvian, and they get like this swan house, and that was made purely for like romantic side. And this is more, well, rabbity, I'm guessing. Here's the shower. That is not the shower, but that is the toilet, like what she said, the airplane thing. And this is the sauna. I think Sabine said she read a review about this bed, and somebody already complained that it was not really big.
Yes.
And then they went to sleep into sauna. Because this one is, I don't think it's pulling out.
It is.
It is? Oh yeah.
It is. It's a IKEA bed.
Oh yeah. So it's, you can actually pull it out, and then it will be double this size. So for two of us it will be perfect. Sabine is hiding because she washed her hair, so she has like a towel on her head. So yeah, very simple, but very interesting, I would say. And the woman who made this, she's like a designer, you said?
Yes. She's
a designer, a teacher, entrepreneur, or whatever. A lot of mosquitoes. So, whatever, guys. Now it's time for us to have some drink and a little bit of munchies and sit outside here and watch the lake. Peace.